Makoko, et le deuxième mot que tu vois, c'est royalty. Parce que hier, j'étais en communication avec Desmond Sunday Zegbeyon Shemede pour la transition, qui est le fils du chef de Makoko.
Ah, bien sûr.
So, Desmond Sunday Zegbeyon Shemede is Makoko royalty.
Shout
to some
out.
extent, yes. Et
Shout
du
out
coup,
to our people from Makoko.
yes, yes, thank you. So for context, yesterday I spoke with my godson, and he's from Benin. So we both have African heritage, and we try to reconnect to that African heritage, which is how I got in touch with Tolulope and you. Looking the internet and doing some research, I came across Makoko. And when I first reached out to you, it was with the idea of creating an artistic project. And this is how we got to talk, or to this conversation now. And the first question that I wanted to ask you is how you got to Makoko, and also how you relate to African royalty. I know that your father is the Bale, is that correct?
Yeah.
So what would that make your grandfather?
My grandfather was the very first chief of the Makoko waterfront community. So he became the chief because he was born in Badagry. So he was born in Badagry, and being born in Badagry, he has the opportunity. He knows how to speak. He understands English and our dialect, which is Igbo language. So, and there he had to come to Makoko. He was 7 years old when they brought him to Makoko community because he understands Yoruba language and our dialect, which is Igbo language. So, Makoko, there are different tribes in Makoko. Like we have Yoruba tribe, we have Hilaje tribe, and Egun tribe. We are Egun tribe, and there's no community that there is no misunderstanding sometimes, So whenever there is a misunderstanding sometimes, so there was between the Egun tribes and the Yoruba tribe. So there was nobody in Yoruba tribe that could speak in Egun language then. So there was nobody in Yoruba tribe that could speak in Egun. Nobody in Egun that could speak in Yoruba. But my grandfather has the opportunity to know how to speak the both language because he was born in Badagry. So, and he was
What's
7 years old.
Badagry?
So Badagry is a state in Nigeria, in Lagos. Badagry shares border. It shares border with Benin Republic.
Okay.
So that's where.
Badagry.
Yeah. That's where we're from.
Okay.
So because of that, because he understands the both language and he has made things so easy for the both tribes in the community. So they voted him to become the very first chief of the community. So that's how my grandfather got his chieftaincy, and so he grew old. My grandfather grew old. So he was around the age of 85 years old, and then so he's not actually strong enough to handle the position anymore. So he have to call the community and tell them he wants to step down for somebody else, that the community should look for somebody else. So that was when the community come up with an idea again that if he want to step down, then we're gonna make his son the chief again, because his son, which is my dad My dad is his first son, and my dad was so close to him, doing most of the jobs for him, and
Mm-hmm.
even he's actually taking most of the responsibilities because his father is old and everything. So the community has been seeing more of the son even than of the father. So
Mm-hmm.
the community had to voted the son again to become the chief, and that's how my father got his to become the ballet of the community.
So your grandfather was the first ballet.
Yes, yes, of Makoko waterfront.
So that's spelled Baale.
Baale, ballet.
And that's in Egon, which means chief.
Yeah, is a general language,
Okay.
but I agree. Ballet.
Okay. So your grandfather was ballet, and so you said that when they want to pass on the power or the responsibilities, he has to speak to the whole of the community to say, I cannot be in charge
Yes.
of you anymore,
Yeah.
so my firstborn will now be in charge of you.
No, that's not what he said. He called the whole community. He told the community that I cannot be in charge of it anymore because of my age. So
Mm-hmm.
the community should decide somebody else because in this case the community is always the one that will decide who should be the chief, not the chief given to anybody he wants. So
Mm.
the community will be the one to decide. So it was the community that chose my father again
Okay.
because
Okay.
they've seen him most of the times and he has helped them doing most of the job. So that's why they choose him again. So they
Mm-hmm.
could have just decided to choose anybody if they want, anybody else if they want. It's not a must.
Okay.
He be my dad, you understand?
Okay. And how do you call the people of Makoko?
Yeah,
How do you call
Makoko.
yourself?
Yeah, we call them because our dialect is Egun.
Yes.
Our dialect is Egun.
Mm-hmm.
So they call us Gunuvi.
Gunuvi.
Yes, Gunuvi.
So Gun. Yeah.
Gunnuvi.
Gunnuvi.
Vi, yes, Gunuvi.
Gunuvi, which means Egun people.
Yes.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. And so Bale is the chief. Is it the same word for women, or what is the place or position of your grandmother and your mother in the community?
Yeah, ballet is like the community leader.
Whether it's a man
Ballet
or a
is,
woman, it's the same word.
yes, is
Okay.
a community leader. So
Okay. And is it usually men, or does it
yeah,
depend on
mostly
the
in
community?
mostly in Africa. It's
Mm-hmm.
usually man. It's
Mm-hmm.
usually man. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when we got to speak the first time, you said that the one of the main roles of the ballet is to solve the disputes within the community.
Yeah. Yeah, the duty of the ballet in the community is to make peace in his community. So like
Make
for
peace.
example, Makoko waterfront, there's no police station.
How do you
There
say
is not a
peace
court.
in Egun?
Peace in Igbo language
Yes.
is to uh peace is FIFA.
FIFA?
FIFA. FIFA.
FIFA. Okay. Okay. So you were saying there's no police
So
station.
yeah, like there's a police station, there's not a court, like when there's a dispute, the only place people drag themselves to is to the community leader, which is the ballet. So
Mm-hmm.
and duty of the ballet is just to make peace between the both parties and then let them go in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's and it's the duty of the ballet to bring opportunities to his community when it have one. So it's to bring opportunity for his community people and just make sure they are living well in the community, and
Hmm.
that's it.
And what are the disputes about? Because you told me that as a son of the Bale, you sometimes have to step in for your father when he's taking care of other things in the community. That you have to go and solve disputes. But
Yeah,
from
yeah,
what I've
there's
researched, it's a
there's no
very peaceful community. So what are the disputes about?
yes, there is no place that you don't have disputes,
Okay,
but disputes are just like a minor disputes. There should be like sometimes fights between two parties. It might be because of fishing. They are fishing stuff. So I want to
as in
fish
they
here. I want
stole
to fish.
someone's fish, for example.
Yeah, for example, like sometimes yes, things like that, and
Mm-hmm.
also you know, uh, mostly mostly is on their fishing stuff. Sometimes when you go to fishing, so a lot of people goes to fishing though, and I wanted to, for example, I want to set my nets in this area, and then you came before me, you arrived before me, and you set your net there,
Mm-hmm.
and so there might be a little misunderstanding there, and so when they come back home, they have to come to the ballet to
Mm.
resolve it for them. So that's it. And
Okay.
if the ballet is not around or busy, so I, as his son,
Mm-hmm.
so and I can, he can give me the go ahead to, talk to them and not just do the same way
Okay.
he used it is.
Mm-hmm. So most issues are about fishing because the community lives on fishing.
Yes.
Okay. Are there other activities than fishing, or was it just or essentially just fishing?
Yeah, there's some other activities, no, but 90% of the activities there are fishing,
Mm-hmm.
90%. So we have barbing salons. We have boys that went outside the community to learn how to barb. We have hairdressers shops.
Mm-hmm.
We have fashion designers in the community,
Mm-hmm.
and we have carpenters. So,
Okay.
like for example, we have local carpenters that build our houses
Mm-hmm.
there in the community, and that construct our boats.
Mm-hmm.
All houses, the boats, everything are made in Makoko
Mm-hmm.
in the community there, and so we also have all those ones too, like in addition to fishing. But
Mm-hmm.
as long as you're born in that community, you should know how to like do the fishing stuff. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Do I saw because I saw a couple of videos. Do women go fishing as well, or do they take care of the
We
smoking
have
of the
some
fishes?
we have some women that do fishing as well, but
Okay.
mostly the women, they do smoking and selling of the fish.
Okay.
But
Mm-hmm.
some still fish as well.
Mm-hmm. And what was it like growing up? Like, what were your earliest memories in Makoko? What was it like growing up there?
Yeah, it's a nice one. Like growing up in Makoko, I've actually taught me a lot. It taught me a lot to be straightforward,
Mm-hmm.
and be who you are. You don't really value material things a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
be contented with the little you have, and even if you're not living in a good house, even if you're not living in a good community, you just try and be who you are. You understand? And you know, because in Makoko, like 95% of the homes in Makoko does not have electricity. They don't have televisions in their rooms. We don't have smartphones, but we're still happy and
Mm-hmm.
still live our normal daily life. So these are actually taught us a lot of things. So even till now, it still keeps me going. You understand? I'll come to the mainland and I'll see a lot of people living their life. They have cars, they have money, they have everything. But I still know where I come from and where I came from, and so all these things does not really matters to me.
Mm-hmm.
But the love I got from my community, we're united, we're very happy, we're contented. We
Mm-hmm.
have this love, we have this love within ourselves, Makoko is a place where anybody can get to any place and sleep,
Mm-hmm.
and I might come back to my house and see somebody outside my place or in my room sleeping, and I
Yeah.
don't have to wake him up, and then I just have to go to my bed and sleep too.
Mm-hmm.
So Makoko taught us all this. Makoko has also taught us that um the little you have can, feed you. It's not until you have big. So the fishing with us does not is not a big money. So
Mm-hmm.
like we survive on our daily fishings, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, so there are people who feed on just even now. There are people who feed on just 1,000 naira a day in Makoko.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who feed on 2,000 naira a day in Makoko. You understand? But we'll see how you see Makoko people. You see the smile on their faces. You see the kids. When you see the kids, they don't have televisions in their rooms. They don't have smartphones. But when you come to the community and see them, you see the smile on their faces.
Mm-hmm.
So they're very happy. Like, to be honest, I will tell you, we're happy living in that community.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, yes, we're happy. We're just happy. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
because it's also a part of our culture. It's part of our culture. So living on water is part of our culture. I think that's just why we're just happy with everything there. Like I told you some days back that there are people in Makoko that they've never been to the mainland for like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
They've not stepped their foot on their land, but
Mm-hmm.
they're still okay in that community. The same thing happens to me sometimes. I'll go to the waterfront, and I'll stay there for a month. Even without coming to the land, I'll stay there for 2 months, and I'll be very happy staying there. So that's it. So Makoko have actually taught us a lot.
Yeah, I was wondering how does it feel like growing up with those values of love, community, and living together in Makoko, and then seeing the contrast with the rest of the society, who values maybe more material things and who is in a completely different lifestyle than you, who are connected with nature, with your community. You live all together in harmony, and just next to that community, you have one of the biggest cities in Africa, who's thriving on capitalism, really.
Yeah. So it's to us, like, to me, I would say this: we've not actually think towards that directions, because we're okay with the little we have.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So we've not think of to that directions. We know they have the money, they have everything, and but to us, we believe this is a life, and we also believe this is what we believe everything that happens in life is destined to happen, and we believe this is how God actually wanted for us to be. You understand? And so we just have to like live our life, and as long as we are happy with what we have, then I think that's what matters a lot. So we're
Mm-hmm.
happy with it. So we shouldn't be looking at somebody who have make it already and living a lavish life and everything. So no, so we're happy with the little we have. I think love masters, because I also believe most of these people we're talking about, they have the money, they have everything, but yet they are not happy as we are. You
Yeah.
understand? They're not happy
Mm-hmm.
as we are, bro. So we don't have, but we are happy. I think that's what matters a lot. And so to me, I think we should just keep having that mindset, and keep just going,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
I also believe, and I always say something to everybody. So no matter what you own in this life, I believe it's just temporary.
Mm-hmm.
You might just have a whole of the world to yourself. It's temporary. So one day
Mm-hmm.
we're all gonna die and leave all those things. If you have the money, you die. If you don't have, you died. And then, so this mindset is what keeps us going. Even if you have If you have 1,000 naira in your account today and tomorrow you don't have what to eat, Makoko people does not worry about it. So all we just do is tomorrow we need to work hard to get something to eat. So and we are happy about it. So that's it. We're not
Mm-hmm.
looking for money. We're not looking for money to build a big mansion. We're not looking for money to buy a big car. So we're only looking for money to survive with the kids, and that's all.
Mm-hmm.
And we're happy about it. So that's just it.
Mm-hmm.
What matters to me and the community is that we're happy. So that's when you see a lot of people, and a lot of people will come to community. Sometimes some people will come to our community and they were like, "Oh, I want to go back. I want to go back. This place is smelling. So
Mm-hmm.
why would human being be staying in this kind of area?" So, but I am born and brought up in this place. When you see me on the mainland, you won't even recognize that I'm from Makoko. You won't.
Mm-hmm.
You won't even recognize when you see some of our kids dressed to the mainland. You won't even know they are from this place. And but you see they smile. And but to be honest with you, most of the people saying this place is not good looking. When you go to their home, yes, they are living in a very good house. They're living in a very good mansion, but yet they don't have peace in these homes.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the peace, the happiness, the joy in our kids in the community. Their kids does not have these joys.
Mm-hmm.
So they cannot even they cannot even in 1 month they cannot even unsubscribe their TVs, their kids'
Mm-hmm.
TVs
Mm-hmm.
in a month. But Makoko people does not even know what it means to watch TVs. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So they don't even know these things. So when they have TVs, that's where you see thousands of kids standing watching one televisions, and they're
Mm-hmm.
very happy about it. So uh happiness, joy, love is what matters a lot. So it's not about, you know, driving a big car, living in a good home and everything. So that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's interesting the way you. Well, that's one of the first things that struck me when we got on our first phone call is the wisdom and the vibe that comes from you. How grounded you are in life, and it's probably comes from all these values that you talked about, which you grew in and into.
Yeah.
And the question I wanted to, or the subject I wanted to touch on is, how do you see spirituality in contrast to, again, material life? Not necessarily religion, but the whole, yeah, spirituality, or the way it expresses itself within your community.
Yeah. I can tell you in my community, 85% are Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 15% Muslims, and the rest are traditional worshippers.
Mm-hmm.
So we have over 10 churches and water here in the Makoko community, over 10 churches, and then we have two mosques.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, we have two mosques, and Makoko people believe so much in God. You understand? So they believe God exists, and they trust Him.
Mm-hmm.
So and you know in everything they do, both the Muslims and the Christians, they believe there's God, and He has been the one keeping us alive, and you know feeding us, protecting us, and always. So um, I think that's just a belief.
Mm-hmm.
So believe fully in God, and you know and keep doing what we're doing. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And and how is it now when you see, you talked about destiny, you believe in destiny and God.
Yeah.
How do you feel now that you're facing all these challenges? I see you're facing them with a lot of resilience.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, to me. Now I'll say the same thing. We've actually I know we've actually accepted our fate. When they started the demolition stores and everything, a lot of people have actually moved. Some of them have moved to even where they don't know, so, and we can't stand it. We can't fight them. So we believe God sees everything. You understand? We believe God sees everything. So we also believe this is what God wants to happen, and because to me, I sometimes used to read my Bible and I've come across some scriptures in the Bible that says all these things. You
Mhm.
understand? Like things like this would definitely happen. And
Mhm.
so he said there are going to be wars. So we've been hearing wars from other countries. He said they're going to be hungers and there are going to be hungers. We've been seeing it, a lot of hungers in Nigeria. So, but, and
Mhm.
also I've seen it. A lot of people have seen it. So we believe these things are things to come. So, but now, so we have to like just accept our fate because this is not people we can fight.
Mhm.
These are not people we can fight. So there's nothing else to do than just to accept the fate that this thing happening. God knows why it's happening. So I believe we might leave the community and God will actually provide an alternative. So now, yeah, people have been sleeping in a boat. A lot of people have been sleeping in a boat. So, but my belief is God would definitely look for a way for them to sleep, somewhere for them to at least go, because they're not going to stay there forever.
Mhm.
They're not going to stay there forever. God will definitely, provide a place for them to stay for those who have left the community already. So I'm actually in contact with a lot of people, and I had to like call them sometimes to see how they're doing. So
Mhm.
some of them have actually have some little place, some small place they are staying already.
Mhm.
So from there they can start, doing what they know how to do and start living their life again. So that's it. So like I said from the beginning, we're not a type of tribe that live that lavish life, live that big life, you understand?
Mm.
So,
Mhm.
so like for example now, 90% of the houses in Makoko does not have mattress.
Mhm.
Yeah. Most of us sleep on the floor.
Mhm.
Most of us sleep on the mats. So you understand. So well, but yet we're still okay with all these things. We don't feel like we don't feel like in Makoko, we don't feel like we're suffering. You
Mhm.
understand? We feel like this is our way of life.
Mhm.
Yes. So anything that happens to us now, yes, it's hard to take it off our mind because we're born here, we're raised here, and everything now is like they're sending us out of our home.
Mhm.
So, but still, yet we nothing we can do about it. So we just have to move on and accept that this is God. God knows about it. So
Mhm.
that's it. Yes.
And do you feel like everybody in your community can take it with as much resilience as you? Or are some
No,
people
everybody. No,
angry
no,
and.
no. Everybody's not gonna take this because we don't have the same
Mm-hmm.
mindset. So I used
Okay.
to tell people that. I used to tell people that. So um being having a knowledge is it being to being a student, being a student and having a knowledge is a two different thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I know of people who go to school but they don't have the knowledge. So and I know of people who have knowledge, they don't go to school. Like
Mm-hmm.
somebody like my dad. My dad is not educated. He didn't go to school, but he has the knowledge. Sometimes I see that and I look at him and say, yes, this man, how would this man go to school? He would have just become a first class in
Mm-hmm.
his this. Yeah, but the same thing. Myself, I didn't actually go to university. I stopped when I finished my secondary school because it was not fun for me to pursue the education there. And but still, I still I still see what many graduates does not see in our community. So
Okay.
you understand. So I believe it's not everybody is going to think the same way I'm thinking. But but for the few people that will understand, so we're trying to educate the rest that okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is what's going on, and this is what you should do, and you have to like have faith and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
and so the community, they're not actually giving us back. They're not giving us back, and we have no choice than to move on. Let's move
Mm-hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on. So
Okay.
I've seen somebody they deported from the United States, and so he was crying, crying, crying. They deported him back to Nigeria from United States, and then he was so crying, crying, crying. So he came back to Nigeria, and then he's now making everything he went to United States for in Nigeria. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
now doing very well and happy in Nigeria. So
Good for him.
yeah,
Good for
so
him. So
so I
how many
believe
people? Sorry, go on.
I believe that's how life is sometimes, and you just have to play along with it and live your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so it's one thing from a technical point of view if you have to move 10 people to another place. How many people have to move now? And as a son of a Bale, do you have to come up with ideas or solutions for these people who have to find somewhere else to live? How do you handle that?
Yeah, yeah. So, well, to me, in the community, we know, I being son of the chief and a person that is born and brought up in the community, like I run a school and an orphanage with my
Mm.
family
Mm-hmm.
there, and so the school and the orphanage, the kids we accommodate in our school are the less privileged kids and the orphans.
Mm-hmm.
So these are kids that we will look into their cases and see that okay, their parents are not making enough to take care of them, and they don't have enough to like send them to school. So that's why we take them, and we're able to provide that free education for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think if we are to move people, so it has to be in this same case that we have to look into people that for those that have moved already. So I believe they have a little with them, and that would help them get another place somewhere else, and that's why they were able to move so fast. So the people that are still in the community sleeping in the boats, so if they have, I don't mean they have the money or have the funds or have what it takes to move also, they would have been sleeping in the boat, you understand? So they would have also moved from
Okay.
that place as well. So the thing is, so we had to like look for somebody who needs it the most to get them another place to stay, and so
But
though a
the
lot of
community
people a
are not
lot
looking up to you, as in, where are we going now? We are following
of
you,
course.
or they are.
Of course, of course, a lot have been calling me already. The lot of community have been calling me already. Okay, so where we moving to? Where we going? And is there any alternative? And but the
Mm-hmm.
government has not actually provided any alternative. They've not provided any alternative, and it's not like myself, I have any money saved anywhere to say, okay, so I
Mm-hmm.
want to buy a 1 acre of land, I want to buy 2 acres of land so we can move them and rebuild. So it's not like I have the money. So,
Mm-hmm.
but what I keep telling them is they need to exercise patience, and if anybody have any alternative in mind for now, so we had to, so they should just work on it, and then to further noticed to, and I keep telling them I'll reach out to people I know, friends and family, to see if something can be done.
Mm-hmm.
So, like for example, I went to Ikorodu a few days ago, and so we got a place there. So I saw a place that so the community were willing to offer to us,
Mm-hmm.
for some amount of money. So and so that people can come and build their homes there and start their life
Mm-hmm.
all over again, you know. But all these things is money. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? It's money. So and it's not like we have the money to say, okay, yes, we want to buy for them. We want
Mm-hmm.
them to come. So we have to, you know, we just have to keep doing what we're doing for now and see
Mm-hmm.
if any help and support comes up from anywhere. So
Mm-hmm.
before we can be able, because I can't promise for now.
And
You know,
and
there's still a lot of kids on us,
mm-hmm.
the orphans are some less privileged with us. So we're taking care of. We can't push them out, you know, because they've been for us. They've been with us since their beds. They've
Mm-hmm.
been with us from the track, you know. So we're not expecting this to happen, but it has happened. So we have to still hold on to them and make sure we provide for them, make sure we feed and everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Tolulope actually came to visit, so I saw some pictures, and and you can really see the joy on their faces. I really hope they're doing fine where they are now. Who's looking after them? Because
I
you
have
said
my
it's what 31 of them.
yeah, that one. Now the kids that actually went with us now over 50 kids now, you know.
50
So
now.
yeah, it's over 50, over it's more than 50 now because like I said, there are some kids there, their parents are not they're
They
not
can't look after them.
happy after them. So these
Mm-hmm.
kids they were like crying. They were
Mm-hmm.
like crying a lot. Hey, bro, Sunday, bro, Desmond's, we need to go with you. We need to go with them, and
Mm-hmm.
so we don't have a choice than to take them with us.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom is there with them, and my sister is there. My sister is there, and like I said, we have actually two ladies that normally cooks for them.
Mm-hmm.
So when they were in the orphanage, the ladies are there to, you know, taking care of them and making sure they cook for them and make sure they eat very well.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, so that's it.
So it's your mother, your sister, and two other
Yeah.
people look after those 50 kids, 50 plus.
Yes. Yes.
Oh. And how is it for them? Because it's a huge responsibility and a lot of work to look after 50 kids who are not the same age. So it's another challenge on top of that.
Yeah. It's a challenging one for them, and but it's not easy, but it's something they just have to do. They have to do it, and it's something they've been doing,
Mm-hmm.
and you understand. So, taking care of them is like they're taking care of their children. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? They are happy doing it.
Mm-hmm. So
So
your
they're
mother had
passionate
nine
about.
kids and now she's got another 50 to take care
Yeah,
of.
yeah, yeah. So all
What
the
a
nine
woman.
kids, all the nine kids my mom had are grown. We're all
Yeah.
grown, you understand? So
Mm-hmm.
we are not on his neck anymore.
Yeah.
So I think these ones are the one he had now. So
Wow.
yeah,
An amazing woman she must be. We talked about our, I don't know if you can see the picture here. Um, yeah, so yesterday, as I told you, I was on the phone with my godson, and we talked about our African grandmothers. I'll send you a picture afterwards, but here are my
okay.
African grandparents, and we were wondering what are the qualities of African parents. So the qualities that you would say are the most present by African mother or by your mother and by your father, because I only know my African father. My mother is Swiss. So how is an African mom, I guess is my question. What are the main qualities? What do you admire the most?
Yeah. I admire every moment, all the moment, every moment with my mom.
She's
Every
perfect.
moment. Yes, he's perfect. My
Yeah.
dad is perfect. And
Mhm.
I love them so much. They've
Mhm.
raised us in a way, me having this mentality saying, okay, like having the mindset to say, okay, I want to take care of others. I want to take care of other kids, all this come from them. If they
Mhm.
have not raised me in, if they've not raised me in that way, so I wouldn't have said, okay, I want to do this. I wouldn't have had the mindset to say, okay, so I want to think of somebody else. Is she
Mhm.
doing well? Is he doing well? Is the kids doing well? So they've like everything about my parents are perfect. Like
Mhm.
to me, like they've actually raised the nine of us so well, and we all have the same mindset.
Mhm.
So the same way I can talk to you, if you call any of my brothers and my sisters to talk to you, they talk to you in the same way, and they're so happy bringing us up, and we're so happy having them as a mother and Africa parent.
Mhm.
They you know, they teach you everything they knows how to do. So
Mhm.
like my dad is a fisherman. He taught me how to fish. My mom is a fish seller. He taught me how to source the fish. So if I don't fish, I know how to source the fish. I can also source the fish. So you understand. And
Mhm.
everything my mom knows how to he taught me how to do it, and
Mhm.
and they teach us in a way to be respectful, to be a good person to the society, and to be like an example for others to you
Mhm.
know to see, and so I think, yeah, great.
That's
Even with
wonderful.
the little they have, they're not any much, but they were able to send us to school from the little they have.
Mhm.
So we all went to school, and
The nine
even
of
if
you
we
went to
didn't go.
school.
Yeah, we all went to school, but
Okay.
we didn't. Not all of us. Taiwo went to university, but I didn't go to university.
Mhm.
But we all went to school. We can speak the rest of the rest can also speak English just like me. You
Mhm.
understand? So which I'm very happy of, and so they were able to send us to school to achieve this. You get. So if they have not sent us to school, we won't be able to take the responsibility we took in the community. You
Mhm.
understand? So
Mhm.
that's it. So I'm just happy. I'm happy having them.
Mhm. Yeah, well, I could see the smile on your face when you started to speak about your parents, so I can tell you're very proud
So
of them, and they probably are
yeah, sure,
proud of
sure.
you
So
all
proud,
as well.
so proud of them. So
And how was it growing up? Because I grew up as an only child until my sister came on later. I was already in 18 or 19. How was it like growing up with eight siblings? Were you always on top of each other, or were you all outside doing your own things with your own friends?
yeah, well, we're together, and the love is massive. Like
Mhm.
so it's growing up with eight siblings. It's a very nice thing, and so you look to your right, you see somebody who cares for you. You look to your right, you see somebody who cares for you, and your front and your back, you have people surround you, and people you can easily call and talk to, people you can call when you need something, people you can call when you need support. If you're having a headache, you look to any angle, you have somebody to call. Hey, I'm having an headache, so can you get me some drugs? And have people. The love is actually massive.
Mhm.
So it's a lot of fun growing up with all of them, and everything. So we're so supportive and united, and you know
United. Yeah.
work as one,
Mhm.
work as one, and and I think is what brought us to the stage we are today.
Mhm.
So we're all still together, and happy.
Mhm.
So yes, I've seen somebody who have just two, and the two are not in a good state. They're not happy with themselves, and so. But yeah,
Mhm.
the fact that we're nine, and all the nine are still happy with themselves and united. So
Mhm.
that's it.
Okay. It's good. So even now through the rough times, you still keep that happiness and you try to.
Because
Uh,
yes, I went to yes, even now it's really happy. So we call ourselves, so like the eight of them call me almost every day. They call me, hey, Desmond, how you doing? So I said, yes, I'm doing well. How you doing too? I'm doing well. And the same way I call them too. And when they have any issues or any problem, like for example, then if you for example now, I'm using this as an example. If I'm stranded and I'm stranded and I don't have money with me, and I can call any of them. Okay, hey,
mm,
if you have some money, just send me some money. And I'm very happy to do that if they
hmm
have. And so the same way, they can also call me and say, hey, brother Desmond, how you doing? Yeah, I'm fine. And so you need some money. So if I have, I send it to you.
hmm
So there's love in us, and we're very happy. You know,
hmm
coming from the same family and same parents.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I think it's one of the values I admire the most since I heard of Makoko and saw the couple of documentaries, and since we got to speak, I can really feel that sense of unity and community,
Yeah,
even
it's like
even
not
with all
just
the challenges you face.
yeah, not just my families
Yeah, the
alone.
whole
Other
community. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the whole community. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Makoko is a community that Makoko is a community that you can come into Makoko. I can bet you that you come into Makoko with nothing, with zero naira, and then you survive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because people will be very happy. People will know no one in Makoko will look you hungry, like look you hungry. They wouldn't like accept you didn't talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody you talk to, Makoko, hey, I need something to eat. Definitely, they want to give you.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, they want
Mm-hmm.
to. One, two people would definitely say, hey, come, let me get you some food. Somebody would say, okay, hey, just this is 500 naira take. Somebody would say, okay, this is 1,000 naira take. So that's it. There's that love. There's that love in Makoko. Yes, there's that love in Makoko that you know. I don't know if I'll see it somewhere else, but
Mm-hmm.
it's actually built. The love is built in Makoko there, and
Mm-hmm.
people are so happy about it. So Makoko is a place that you just paddle your boat in the morning and you go. There's a place because Zunukpa. Zunukpa is a very open place where people go doing buying and selling of fish. We call it Zunukpa
Is
in
it
our
the
dialect.
market? How do you spell it?
Zunukpa.
Z
ZUNNUNU
Zunnu
KPA.
Zunukpa.
Yes, Zonukpa. Zonukpa is like an open place. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's close to the Third Mainland Bridge, and like outside the community, open area. So
Mm-hmm.
where people do buying and selling. It's also a place where the women wait to get the fish from the men that
Mm-hmm.
comes from fishing. So
Yeah.
you
So
can go
it's
yeah,
transit.
yeah, yeah, you go to you go to Zonukpa, and then anybody you see, they just ask them for fish. You won't imagine how many fish will come back with. A lot of people, like almost everybody you meet, they will give you fish.
Okay.
Everybody, even without going for fishing, you can from there make some money. So and all this is just in. I believe is just in Makoko alone, and people are happy giving you. It's not like somebody will say, no, 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 I'm not giving you. No, they'll be very happy and to give you. They're happy giving it to you, and as long as you're all trying to survive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it.
Zunukpa. Awesome. Oh, and
Sunukpa.
another question. What is it the kids sing when they see somebody who's my
Say
color of
Yavo we
skin? Yevo?
yeah, yeah, Yavo we Yavo we Yavo we Yavo means a white person,
In
white person.
in Igung?
Yeah, it's a Negun.
How do you spell it? Yevu?
You know, Yevo, Yevo,
Y E V V O
like
or V U?
yes, like
Yevo.
VO. Yes, like Yoruba people will say Oyimbo.
Oyimbo O.
Oyimbo, Yoruba people say Oyimbo.
Oyimbo.
Oyinbo.
Oyimbo, which means a white person.
Oyimbo. Yeah, white person. But in other lands, we say Yevo.
Yevo. And you say oui oui. I saw some of the people speak French.
Yeah. We is like a French language. Makoko is a migrant community. You understand?
Yeah.
So we have few people from Benin Republic, and
Okay.
so these people from Benin Republic are the one that taught
Mm.
people from Badagry. This Yevo, yes, yes. How are you? Like Yevo, we come as like
Comment ça
Yevo,
va? But do you speak
white
French?
person. Yes, me? No,
Yeah.
I
No.
don't
Okay.
speak French.
Okay.
Yeah. So Yevo, yes, yes. How are you? That's what they're saying. Yevo, yes, yes. How are you?
Yevo oui oui.
Yevo, we come as
Comment ça va? Comment ça va? You say in French.
So they don't say comment ça va, but they actually
Comment ça?
abbreviate it by saying
Okay.
comment ça. Yeah, bro,
Yevo
we
oui oui.
comment
Comment
ça.
ça?
Yeah.
Okay. What are the best childhood memories from what you've said so far? You must have plenty. But what are the first that comes to mind of childhood memories in Makoko?
Yeah. Going together with my friends and brothers, being close to the Third Mainland beaches,
Mm-hmm.
swimming alive,
Mm-hmm.
So, so you don't take that from us. As long as you're born in Makoko, you definitely know how to swim.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody taught us how to swim. We taught ourselves, and so we are like fish, you understand? So
Yeah.
we swim. Yeah, so we swim, so we have fun together and everything. So you see a lot of us coming together in one place, playing together.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like other places everybody cage their kids. They cage their kids. They don't want them to come out to see
Mm-hmm.
anybody. But Makoko, everybody we are like we're free. We're
Mm-hmm.
free to see ourselves, we come out together. We can decide, hey guys, let's go let's go swim. So we go together, we swim, guys, let's go fish. We go together, we fish. So we come together, the fish we have, we cook it together
Mm-hmm.
and we all eat together.
Mm-hmm.
So like yes, a lot, a lot, a
So
lot,
so the
a lot.
morning swing is going for a morning swim is a must
Yeah,
when
yes,
one visits Makoko.
yeah,
Awesome. And so how do you see the future now?
yeah. The future, uh, the future is bright. Yeah, yeah. It's just that yeah. So I have actually accept fate, but at the same times, I'm not happy because you know, I am a family. We run two schools there, and with 650 students, and you know, most of these kids now are gonna drop from school, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, but some of these kids we're talking about might be the future leader
Mm-hmm.
of our community. They might be the future leader of other states, but and we accommodate those kids in the school because their brain could not afford to, take them to school. So now their homes have been destroyed and, they're no longer in school. And
Mm-hmm.
so, which we can't do anything to it for now because we don't have the capital. So you understand.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I still see the future bright. So I believe we can still work with what we have.
Mm-hmm.
So we still have about 50, yes, kids with us, and so we're planning on how to get them all back to school, and so they can continue with their education and have that education they deserve.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I used to say, we can say
Mm-hmm.
if if a doctor will come from them, a governor will come from them, a minister will come from them, even a president might come from them.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, so we're always going to try our best to make sure they got there, and I believe they are the future. They are the future.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, like I used to say, most of my friends in the community are not educated. They can't
Mm-hmm.
even speak like me.
As in
They can speak
English.
in
Yeah.
yes English like me. They don't. They're not educated. They can speak. Not they can write. So, but I was able to do this, and I was able to take this responsibility upon myself because I I went to school. My parents were able to send me to school,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm actually talking to you now in English because I know how to speak in English. So, but for those of them that cannot speak in English, they cannot have the opportunity to talk to you. You understand? So these are the things that these are some of the things we're actually looking forward for the kids as well. So like I said, I didn't go to university, but I'm still planning to go. But our focus on the case is to make sure they go to university, get a good job, you
Mm-hmm.
know, get a good job, also goes into the system. So you understand. So education key.
Do you have another phone call coming in?
Yeah, Taiwo is calling me.
Oh, do you know what? You know the link, well, that's up to you, but it would be spontaneous. But the link I sent you to join this call, you can send it to him and he can join us. Or we can do that some other time, but I'd love to meet him.
Yeah, sure. So let's fix another date, and I'll
Yeah.
have him join
Okay.
the
Yeah,
meeting
yeah,
so
yeah. So
we
you
all
can
can.
talk
So
to
I can
him
also
about it.
have I can also ask one of my brother and my sisters to join the Zoom call. So
Yeah, I'd love that.
let's
It'd be an
yeah,
honor.
so,
It'd really be an honor to meet your family.
yeah,
Do you need to get going? We can wrap up and we can continue another day if
another
you need
day.
to
Yeah.
take the
So
call.
if possible, then so
Yeah, 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 of course. Of course,
all
whenever
right.
works for you. Just one thing so you can have that in mind because that's the promise that I made and I want to keep, but seeing how things are going, I really hope I'll be able to, but can you hear this?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You hear this sound, the music?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is just ideas of the song that I started to write with Jolulope. Negus is a word in Ethiopian that means king. And what inspired this song was, as I told you, African royalty, and you and your family are what is closest to African royalty that I know, and which is why I'm so honored to speak to you and get to understand how you take care of a community and all the responsibilities that comes with it. So we came up with the lyrics that goes like, there's a war, my niggas, there's a war. Run, 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 my niggas, there's a war. Babies being killed, my niggas, there's a war. Women are dying, my niggas, there's a war. Fire in Makoko, my niggas, there's a war. Where they gonna go, my niggas, there's a war. All waiting for help from above, down here there's a war. And no one's coming to save us, my niggas, there's a war. And then I changed a bit the rhythm, and there are a couple of words, if you have 1 second afterwards, that I'd love to translate to Egon. But
Yeah.
Makoko is burning, in the water I see blood. Wish that I could dry your tears, and that you would cry no more. Flames of injustice cannot be tamed by a flood. Makoko, you lived in peace, now Makoko, you are at war. Has our destiny been cheated? Will you make it through the war? My promise, how can I keep it? If Makoko, you are no more. And
Uh
yeah,
wow. This sounds so good. Like, yeah,
Thank you. But
yeah,
it's been really, we can talk about this, yeah, next time, but it's been really moving getting to know you, seeing everything that's happening in Makoko. I was looking forward to coming and do all these choir ideas and yeah, artistic projects with the kids, and now seeing the place literally burning down and being at the other end of the world and not being able to help or do anything really about it. It's yeah, it's really a strange world we live in. So so I hope we'll get a chance to at least get a
sure,
couple of songs together. I don't know if you like to sing or if your brother and sister like to sing, but I hope we can make something happen.
no
It'd be an
problem,
honor.
no
All right,
problem.
I'll send you what I have, and yeah, we can
Thank
plan it
you,
for another phone call,
thank you very much.
brother.
Appreciate it.
Tell your
Thank you very
family and your
much.
community I say hi. Send them
Sure,
my best
sure.
regards. And as always, it's been a pleasure and an honor to speak with you. And I
Yeah,
hope we can
thank
catch up
you
soon.
for yeah, thank you for your concerns and support too. It
Mm,
means a lot. Yeah,
mm.
it's nice. It's nice talking to you, and I'm happy about it. Thank you very
Mm.
much.
I hope to see you soon in real life as well.
Yeah, sure, sure. Would love to see you too, brother.
Take care, brother.
You all right?
Have a good one.
You too.
See you. There's a war, my niggas, there's a war. Run, 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 my niggas, there's a war. Babies being killed, my niggas, there's a war. Women are dying, my niggas, there's a war. Fire in Makoko, my niggas, there's a war. Where they gonna go? My niggas, there's a war. All waiting for help from above. Down here, there's a war. And no one's coming to save us, my niggas, there's a war. There's a war, my niggas, there's a war. Run, 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 my niggas, there's a war. Babies being killed, my niggas, there's a war. Women are dying, my niggas, there's a war. Run, 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 my niggas, what you running from? My niggas, have you forgotten where we're coming from? Don't you know we're the ones we've been waiting for? My niggas, have you forgotten where we're coming from? Makoko is burning in the water, I see blood. Wish that I could dry your tears and that you would cry no more. Flames of injustice cannot be tamed by a flood. Makoko, you lived in peace, now Makoko, you are at war. Has our destiny been cheated? Will you make it through the war? My promise, how can I keep it if Makoko, you are no more?